Hello, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. In today's video, I'll be doing a short divination reading from my own sort of deck of cards that I've created for you specifically. And the topic of today's reading, I think there's some questions about future career options, the next steps to take in your career, or maybe a personal project that you're working on. So I hope to provide a little guidance on that. So I have illustrated these cards myself, and I hope that there are some value to you. So the first card we have pulled here is Mirror. And I think that what this relates to is you need to look at the people who you would aspire to be and really mirror their actions. So perhaps this means researching someone that you really admire and considering their career steps and what they were doing around this time when they were your age or at your level in the career. And maybe consider really like what jobs were they taking on, what projects were they creating. If you're an artist, maybe look at the art that they were making, where they were publishing this work. And it could also mean reaching out for mentorship, because a lot of the times you'll be able to talk to an artist and sort of understand where they're coming from and take on their sort of good work ethic when you speak to them and mirror their willpower to create your own projects. All right, the next card, we've got Cake here. So cake, this is your slice of the cake and you're eating the cake. Okay, this is a very good card to pull, right? Because it means that you are about to get rewarded. You're about to get your slice of things, your due reward from all the hard work that you've been putting in. So, and it's also a shared experience eating this cake, right? You're not eating the whole cake to yourself, right? You're just taking a slice. So you're celebrating with people who you've worked hard with, and you're all getting your reward paid out for all your hard work. All right, the next card we've got Focus. I mean, what can you say about this? I mean, you have to be very locked in. You have to be very focused at this time in your career because you need to really know what you want, As you can see, the eyes narrowing down to this one point, right? If you are a hard worker, but you don't really know what you want, you might kind of end up spinning in circles or meandering around. So what this card really speaks to is having that clear vision in mind that you're working towards and really remembering always what this goal is and let it guide your actions. All right, we've got the Snake card here. Okay, this is an interesting one because, the snake might seem like a bad omen. It might seem like someone is waiting in the bushes, ready to strike you down, sabotage you, poison you, right? So this could mean that you have some slithering opponent in your life. But at the same time, the snake could represent you because in the time of filming this video, it is currently the year of the snake. And so this could actually be a very auspicious card to pull because the snake slithers, schemes. The snake is very this is like making moves in silence. Like you are slithering around and you're kind of in the shadows, but you're really making big moves. Like you're really figuring things out for yourself. So this is a good card, I think. All right, then we've got the Mouse. And okay, this is an interesting one. Especially to pull right after the snake, all right? Because it's, you gotta wonder, who's the snake and who's the mouse? Who do you identify with more? Because in this case, the mouse could be maybe your target audience, right? Because you've got this, the trap. So you're maybe the one who's setting the trap to lure in the little mice who are going to be your customers, patrons, or supporters. So you've got the piece of cheese, right? And you just need to know where to leave it and how to set the trap. Or if you're identifying with the mouse, right? In this case, the mouse is actually quite smart, right? Because he is not jumping into the trap. He is sitting beside the trap that has been set for him. So this could mean that you are avoiding a trap. You see the trap that is placed in front of your home, so you know not to walk into it. So you could be a very wise mouse in the situation. Okay, property. I mean, this is a very relevant one, of course. You are increasing and building your property. You are accumulating a lot of riches, but at the same time, there's sort of a connotation of maybe you don't believe in property so much. You think it's kind of silly that people can own land. That's so strange. But you are also understanding maybe the value of your intellectual property. So when it comes to your creative endeavors or your business, that is your property. And maybe it's important to not to just focus on the money that the business is bringing in, but also the value of the idea itself and the value of your unique skill set that you're bringing to the business. All right, okay, very auspicious card to pull. This is a really good one. All right, we've got the dog. And the dog signifies, so you've been working like a dog, right? You've been working yourself to the bone, you know what I mean? Like you really deserve a treat in this moment because you've been working so hard. So I would say that the dog really represents the sort of spirit of, you know, you are not getting tired, you're not giving up, you're always going to keep fetching that ball and bringing it back. So I think this is really a sign to keep you motivated, but also recognize your hard work, right? Because if you have this dog who's maybe, you know, herding sheep or whatever, seeing eye dog, right, they don't just work with no reward, right? They are getting some treats at the end of the day, you know, they are getting a spoonful of peanut butter. So this could be your reminder to give yourself a spoonful of peanut butter and reward yourself for your hard work. Oh, the mask. Okay, this is an interesting one. This is an interesting one because I think that this represents maybe, you know, an old persona that you're maybe shedding. You're kind of taking off the mask that you were using previously, or it could also mean that you're putting on a new mask because you know that for this next stage in your career development, you need to really have a persona that is the right fit for this world that you're entering. You know, your old mask is no longer going to serve you because that was what got you into the situation with your previous career development, right? And so now that you want to take this next step into this new you need to develop this new mask that is going to serve you much better. Because you're talking to all new people, you're going to be in a whole new professional world, and it's really important that you yourself have, you know, of course you're maintaining that integrity of your soul from within, but in the way that you present to other people, you are now just in a different place in the world, right? You are seeing yourself as more powerful, as more influential, and so you just need to kind of really lean into that power that you are now acquiring and let it shape you as well. Right, the next one, projector. Okay, this is an interesting one because maybe what the work that you're doing might relate to something to the media. It might relate to filmmaking or making videos. So you're really like, you're displaying things, you're showing other people. And then also the projection, it could be that maybe you were projecting your desires outside into the world. So from this glowing light within, you're now projecting it onto this large screen in order to show other people. So this card could relate to the sharing of your gifts as well as bringing people together to see this idea and this light that you have within you. Okay, next one, we've got notebook. Okay, I think this is a very valuable one. This is saying you really need to take note on where you're going with your life, like on this project or in this career development. You really need to have this good sense of where you're going. So it's very important to be taking notes on things that you're noticing, different synchronicities, different people that you meet. Take notes on what their strengths might be so that maybe if you have this need for their expertise, that you could call them up because you know they're a professional in this topic. So don't just let life sort of pass you by. Like, try to be very conscious of the things that are going on in your life and take note on it, because every little thing does matter and will come back to, you know, appear in your life again in the future. So you do want to kind of keep notes and understand what these things mean when they reappear. Okay, the Joker. Okay, this is a great card, right? Because, you know, it's kind of this freedom, right? It's this wild card. You know, you can kind of do anything you want, really, when you're the Joker. Like, you could adopt so many different personas. You can really be playful with things. And I think that what this card is really telling you is to maybe not take this career development so seriously. Like, at the end of the day, it is your life, but it's also not life or death, because you can have so many different careers that are going to work out for you and you'll be prosperous in. So don't hinge any anxiety or stress on it, but really laugh and enjoy the process of finding your new role. Okay, the token. Okay, this is an interesting one because this does relate to career in the sense that maybe it's kind of a monetary exchange, sort of, you know, you're exchanging a token for something else, but it could also mean maybe you're the token and you have a special place that, you know, you can be used for something, that you are special in some way, or that you represent almost a sort of currency. So if you've been devaluing yourself, you know, maybe to think about how your value and how you could be of service to a community, to an organization, or just sort of like the where you exist in the world and how you kind of interact with other people. All right, the chalice. Okay, this is a good one, okay, because your cup runneth over, you know what I mean? Like, this means that you are going to experience a lot of prosperity soon, right? That you're not even gonna, like, know what to do with it. Like, it'll be so much prosperity that your cup is going to overflow, and then you're going to have to pour into other people's cups and share the prosperity with those around you. And then also this cup relates to drinking margaritas on the water side. So I think I see this in your future, is that you'll be drinking a lot of margaritas with the sound of the beautiful waves coming in and maybe hitting the dock or washing up onto the beach. So I think this is a very auspicious card. Like, this is a great one to pull. Okay, and we've got Snat. Okay, this is a great card to pull as well, right? Because as you can see, it's one big Snat, right? But also the Snat's babies. So this means that maybe there is someone nurturing in your life and you're the baby and you're about to experience some mentorship, or maybe you already have an ongoing relationship with a mentor and, you know, they're just really helping you grow in that way. It could also be that you're the big Snat and you're helping other people come up in their lives as well. So it could go either way on this one. And, you know, the significance of Snat itself, right? This is a really interesting symbol. And, you know, I did not invent Snat. Some people have credited me with inventing Snat, but I did not, okay? Snat is a symbol of the collective unconscious, right? A lot of people are seeing Snat right now, right? You'll see a lot of Snat artwork online. And so you have to think, like, what does this symbol mean? And I think that Snat symbolizes, you know, it's neither fast nor is it slow, right? It doesn't quite have the agility of a cat, yet it also doesn't have the slow moving pace of a snail, but it at the same time it has both. So it's, you know, it's kind of slow and steady, but also you have this coordination of which step to take next. And you're not dragging your feet, you're still moving ahead. All right, and then we've got pen. Okay, I think that this means you might be a writer of some sort, or maybe you're an artist, and, you know, you're penning your story. And, you know, even if you're not an artist, maybe this could be relatable to you, that you're writing the story of your life. And when you take these steps in your career, it's not just a job, right? You're writing the story of your life and who you are as a person and how the rest of your life will play out. So it's definitely something important to think about as you go forward. Okay, spiky ball. This is really an interesting one to pull because I think this is really giving the ball and chain. Like, I think that right now you have some sort of career, something in your career that's really weighing you down. Maybe this obligation to, like, society or, like, to your parents, where you, like, think you have to have this job in order to, you know, have value in your life. Or maybe there's just this job that you just absolutely hate, but you just feel like you need it for the financial security. So I get the sense that maybe something is weighing you down in that way. All right, and our last card, we got the cave, okay? I mean, this is an interesting one, especially to pull last, because I think this is very significant, right? You're on the precipice of going into darkness, the total unknown. You have no idea what's in store for you. So this is a really mysterious card that I think signifies the beginning of a journey or the next stage in a journey. So I think that whatever is ahead of you, although I think that many of the cards we pulled today were quite auspicious, so I think it's very good for you. I think it's going to be great. At the same time, I think it's going to be complete mystery, and you're not actually going to be able to predict a lot of what's going to happen. So I think you need to really embrace the mystery and walk into the dark cave completely blindfolded, like you don't know what's going to happen, but you're just ready to be a jester and play around and enjoy it. So I hope that this reading was somewhat helpful to you. It was so much fun. I'm definitely going to do more. And yeah, thank you for watching.